Dangerously Incompetent's Armour Guide to the ST vz.39 Czechoslovakian Tier 4 medium tank. Let's have a look. Well, what can we guess at looking at this thing? I guess that would be a weak spot. All slopey, so in line with the German no armour on the lower hull sort of thing. I reckon that would be the weak spot. And there's a couple of that looks like a weak spot to me. And that front of that turret is pretty flat. Let's see what the armour values are. So let's start with the hull. Yep, I was right. Although it's sloped, it's 20 millimeters. It's heavily sloped. That bumps the effective armour up. 40%. But it's still only 28. That's not a lot. So that's a big old spot to hit. If you can see his hull on the lower hull, that band, that's sloped 32, and it's sloped. Yeah, you don't want to shoot that. And even slopier down the bottom. And of course, the closer you get to it, the more slopier it is. So yeah, if you can see the hull, that part is a place to go for. 33 on that almost vertical front of the armour, and that that's machine gun port, isn't it? Let's have a look. No, it's not the machine gun port, it's that window. That window and the machine gun port aren't even modelled, but that window is a bit thinner. But no, still go for that, the slope on the hull. Those cheeks, they're super slopey. Apart from that little window there is a weak spot. So unless he's giving you the quarter angle, avoid those cheeks there. Turret wise, come here. $60mm armour. So it's quite flat, but it's quite thick. That little window there, no, that's not a weak spot. Around the gun, no, multiple bits of armour there, make it really thick. So unless you want to knock the gun out, that collar, 62, 60. It's no thinner, no weak spot there. The cheeks, well, if you got them on the side, yeah, they're nice and thin, but from the front, they're nice and slopey for a pretty good effective armour. Cupola, 40 mils. Around the side, it was rounded, so when you get to the sides, then yeah, it gets better. But flat on the front, and that window isn't actually a weak spot, but because it's flat, 40mm of armour. So if all you can see is a turret, it's cupola time. Now, if they start trying angling your armour, well, the tracks help. There's no particular weak spot in and around the drive wheel. And of course, with the extra slope, all the armour on the front gets that little bit thicker. So it's shoot them in the side time. Not in the... unless you want to stop them moving, don't shoot them in the tracks because of that effective spaced armour. And the side armour, yeah, if they're angling this tank, it doesn't really help unless it's really shallow angle. No. If you try angling this tank, that cheek is your weak spot. So no side scraping for this beast. Nah. Whacking it in the side, 40mm for your turret. It's alright, but if you can get it flat, that's a good thing to shoot. The coupler's no thinner, so just flat on the side of the turret if you got that. If you got the side armour of the hull, then this patch at the rear is nice and thin. It's sloped, but it's so thin it doesn't make enough difference. And the rest of the side is much of a muchness, no particular weak spots apart from not shooting through the tracks if you're trying to damage them. Rear, it's 20 mils, 30 mils, it's weak all round. Just anywhere you've got a flat surface to hit that's perpendicular to your shot. Artillery view, yeah, 10 millimeters, 60 millimeters, 10, 16. So that's easy enough for your artillery, or if you're shooting down on the tank. Well, if you're shooting down on the tank and he's looking at you, that sloped bit on the front of the hull, that's even thinner. So there you have it. If you can get it hull down, it's reasonable. Only exposing your turret, but you've still got that couple of weak spot. So it's not great going hull down with this thing. You've still got to jiggle around to stop them hitting your cupola. So all in all, not particularly great armour. And you can't side scrape because of that cheek. Yes, you're going to have to rely on manoeuvrability to not be hit, rather than rely on your armour with this thing.